Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Peter Wise Jackson. It's my honor to be president of the Missouri Botanical Garden and to welcome you all here this morning for the official opening of Chinese Culture Days. What a wonderful series of performances. Thank you to you all. We are thrilled to have another series of Chinese Culture Days again this year. After so many years, we have had this Chinese Culture Days here in the garden since 1990, and it is something that we look forward to very much every year. Because, you know, the garden has deep connections with China, both through the wonderful Chinese community here in St. Louis, through the numerous Chinese plants that we grow here in the garden, the magnolias, the peonies, the camellias, the chrysanthemums, the bamboos, the rhododendrons. I could go on and on. But also because we have deep connections with Chinese science too. We have conducted research, collaborative research with scientists in China for more than 30 years. And the garden was the coordinating center for a Flora of China project which was completed quite recently that documented all 31,000 plant species of China that are known in the wild. The now completed the project, we continue to work with our colleagues in China. We also have here in the garden the beautiful, the wonderful, the important Margaret Grigg Nanjing Friendship Garden, really just behind you. So during your day, do take some time to see this serene hideaway, a traditional Chinese garden, the scholar's garden of the southern provinces of China from near Nanjing. And indeed, Nanjing is a sister garden, for the Nanjing Botanical Garden is a sister garden for us, and Nanjing is, of course, is a sister garden for St. Louis. It was designed for us by the Chinese-born architect Yong Pan and is an extraordinary display. So please do make time to see that. But of course, our partner in putting together this annual event here at the garden is the Chinese Culture, Education and Service Organization. And we would like to thank Mr. Yimin Shu, who is, as chair of the organizing committee, has guided hundreds of people, hundreds of volunteers to work towards having this wonderful weekend filled with Chinese culture. I also want to thank the people of St. Louis for their generous support of the garden. We are so grateful to our many friends in the community, and all of you make it possible for us to accomplish our mission in so many ways, both here and around the world. Now, it is my distinct pleasure to welcome Head Consul Lu Xiaohui from the Overseas Chinese Affairs Office of the Chinese Consulate in Chicago. Consul Lu is representing Mr. Hong Lei, the Chinese Consul General in Chicago, who is unable to join us today, but certainly sent his good wishes, and we have enjoyed seeing him here at the garden too. Mr. Li.
Distinguished President Mr. Peter Jackson, distinguished Director Anna Hui from the Labor Department, dear Mr. Yimin Zhu, the Chairperson of CCES, dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My colleague and I are very happy to join you here to celebrate the opening of the 2018 Chinese Culture Days held in St. Louis. Please allow me on behalf of Chinese Consulate General in Chicago and Consul General Lei Hong to express our warm congratulations to the opening ceremony. And I would also thank The diligent organizers, including the Missouri Botanic Garden, St. Louis Chinese Culture and Education Association, or CCES, your great efforts will definitely ensure the success of the event today. Since 1996, Missouri Botanic Garden has cooperated with the CCES to produce an event to celebrate the Chinese culture. Hundreds of community volunteers worked towards producing a weekend filled with the colorful Chinese pageantry, art, music, and dance, demonstration and acrobatics, history and legends, and of course, the wonderful food. This is my third time joining this fascinating event. The close cooperation between the different local Chinese organizations and the local people's heartfelt enthusiasm for Chinese culture left me a very deep impression. I'm sure that the various activities of the festival will definitely help all participants to know more about China and the Chinese culture from different aspects. I wish that 2018 Chinese Culture Days a great success, and hope everyone here enjoy a beautiful day. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Liu, and we're delighted to welcome you back to the Missouri Botanical Garden again this year. I'm now delighted to welcome the first Asian American to serve in the Missouri Cabinet, the Director of the Missouri Department of Labor, Anna Hui.
Good morning, everyone. How are y'all doing today? Yeah, great weather, right? Well, first let me thank you, Dr. Wise Jackson, and your Botanic Garden team here. You have done a terrific job hosting this event. I'm privileged to be here for a second year, and it's just as delightful. And luckily, the weather cooperated. And I'm really honored to join all of you here today for Chinese Culture Days, and with Consul Liu Xiaohui, right? Okay. And all of you other community leaders here. It is just a wonderful opportunity to get out with your families and enjoy the different cultures and perspectives here for the Missouri people. But I mean, wow, decades. You've been holding this celebration for decades, and I'm just so impressed by the level of commitment from the different community groups who've really made this effort, a real local tradition in celebrating Missouri's people's diversity. And so I truly applaud all of you and all of the performers here today and organizers for keeping that tradition alive. It's not easy getting this many resources together and this many people on the same page to get something done. So kudos to all of you. Last year when I came for Chinese Culture Days with the governor and the first lady, we had an opportunity to meet with Consul General Hong Lei and really talked about how we could further our relationship between Missouri and China. And so, I wanted to just give you some perspective in terms of what we've been doing to really promote that. We know that local economic growth here in Missouri is very dependent on making sure that Missourians are competitive in the global marketplace. And so the governor, in his very first official trade mission, made it to China and South Korea because, again, we knew that importance. And I was lucky enough to be part of that team with the directors of agriculture and director of economic development. And in China, we saw so many important people to get our message out there again about wanting to strengthen our ties between Missouri and China. From the Vice Premier Wang Yang, the Ministry of Commerce, China Investment Corporation, and the Bank of China. And I think one area of particular interest to this crowd, which you might want to know, is that we actually spent a lot of time talking about Missouri's 3,500 bioscience companies, as well as the 47 life science research centers and incubators. That was really a huge interest on the Chinese in so many different areas because they see real potential collaboration between Missouri and China on that aspect. We also met up with Alibaba because we really knew that if we collaborated with them and understood their resources better, that we could utilize their services to bring more Missouri products into the international marketplace. And so again, in the last 6 months, from just the China and the European trade missions alone, we've been able to bring about $150 million back to the Missouri economy. And so, again, really strengthening our ties between Missouri and China. But on the cultural aspect, of which I'm very proud of, you know, my parents were first generation Chinese American. I came when I just passed my first birthday, and so they had to work really hard to make sure that we appreciated and valued our Chinese culture and traditions. And so I was extraordinarily touched that when I proposed the idea to the Governor and First Lady to host a Lunar New Year celebration, they quickly agreed to that, and were very, very personally involved and committed to that. So just this past February, we were able to host for the very first time in Missouri history a Lunar New Year celebration at the Missouri State Capitol in the Missouri Governor's Mansion. And so, you know, many of the leaders in the community here who are in the crowd, Mr. Zhu and Matthew Yu, who unfortunately is not here today, but Mr. Wei Du as well up in Columbia, they worked together with me to really pull in talent from across the state to be at this celebration. And in fact, I think the St. Louis Chinese Language School's Dragon Team was also performing earlier in the opening ceremony, and they were part of that. And so again, a great way to showcase the diversity, talents, and perspectives of our Missouri people. And so I want to again thank everyone for this wonderful Cultural Day celebration. It's very personally touching for me to see all these families out there. You remind me of my family when we were growing up, and you know, really teaching our next generation the importance of our Chinese language, heritage, and culture. I've got my daughter in front. She's videotaping everything right now, but and my husband here, and I'm trying to share that with them too. So you continue to inspire me with that, and with the great lessons that my parents shared with me too on how to do that. But you know, over time, I think our ties with China and Missouri will continue to grow stronger, and our greatest asset here in Missouri are our people. And so when we can celebrate the diversity and really highlight what a terrific population we have here in terms of workforce, family life, and education, we make a great case for why Missouri is a terrific place to live, work, and raise a family. So thank you again, and I hope to work with government leaders and other community leaders to have more opportunities like this in the future. 祝大家一个愉快的周末. Thank you so much. Enjoy the festival. 谢谢大家.
Thank you so much, Ms. Wee. We're delighted that you're here with your family as well. That's a thrill for us. I must say, we are very fortunate with the weather. Every year I put in a special request for good weather for this weekend, and this time I was successful. Finally, I would like to turn the podium over to Mr. Yemen Xu, who is the chair of the Chinese Culture Days Planning Committee.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends. My name is Yemen Xu. I'm the chairperson of 2018 Chinese Culture Days Committee. And you know what? I thank Dr. Weiss Jackson and to bring us this good weather. So, and I think we really enjoy the culture festivities. Okay, this is the 22nd year we host the Chinese Culture Days at the beautiful Missouri Botanical Garden. And I had the fortune to participate the past 20 Chinese Culture Days. Okay, so I was a volunteer, and actually I was in different shows. Believe it or not, I was acting as a famous Chinese poet and an emperor, And also I was leading the dragon dance team. How about this dragon dance, right? They're good, they're great. All right, so a lot of friends asked me, and how did you get so many people involved? You know, I've been saying the volunteers grow, the number of volunteers grow every year. And this year, we have over 700 volunteers and performers to participate in the Chinese Culture Days. So how can we get so many people involved? All right. So, and why people love the Chinese Culture Day so much? So I think the Salus has a unique culture, and its environment is a very diverse society, and it attracts people from all over the world. And also, the people here love to learn each other, and they are so friendly to each other. So that's why, and for us, we really, this is the gateway to the West, and we think by partnership with Missouri Botanical Garden and with all of you, we can make this place as the gateway to the East. And we are so passionate, and to actually to do this, not just showing the charms of China, and also the 5,000 years of Chinese history. And we also would like to learn from each other. And by working together, we can build this, build this community as a best community to live. We're not here to solve the peace of the world, but we are here to share our heritage, our culture, and we're going to learn from each other. And I hope all of you will enjoy the programs we're going to bring to you today. And on behalf of the Chinese Culture Day Committee, I would like to thank Missouri Botanical Garden, Dr. Weiss Jackson, for your support for so many years. And 22 years we partnership, we work together, and we made this culture festivity as a very signature event in the whole St. Louis area, and also I believe in the state of Missouri. And so we're so proud of ourselves. Okay. And second, I would like to thank Council Liu and Council Wang Yun, come all the way from Chicago to join us today. And also to thank Anna and our good friend who come all the way from Jefferson City and bring the whole family to join this event. A special thank to all of you and who can come to join us today. Without your support, and there's no Chinese Culture Days. And I hope all of you will enjoy this beautiful weather and beautiful garden, and you can learn from this event. And now, without much to say, let the party begin. Thank you.